computer. I was at that screen before and I did not see where it said record. And so anyway, so are you seeing my desktop at this time?
Yes.
Okay, so give me a second here. Let me get back to where we were. And I always have too many tabs and windows open. I need to do a better job with that. But okay, so are you seeing Captain's Cabinetry?
Yes.
Okay, and so let me move this over, back up, I'll put it down below. Okay, so I already told you about the header and the footer and the body, and you have to go to different places.
Yep.
Across the top here, what I did is I put in something it doesn't matter, it's a plugin that makes it so that you probably don't see, can you see all these different options across the top? When
Yes.
you log in as an administrator, you will see these, and these are kind of just some shortcuts to get to. If I just click on this here, Captain's Cabinetry, then the dashboard shows up. So if you think about this as the dashboard and then your shortcut bars, all of these shortcuts are available in the dash bar. You just have to go a little bit, click, make 1 or 2 clicks to get to it. So with that being said, what I want to show you is that we're using a page builder that's called Beaver Builder. And so, or Builder, if you commonly referred to. And the 2 areas that you'll be using 90% of the time, maybe more than that, are either pages or Builder. And you might notice it's basically the same list. It's the list of your pages. It's just that when you go to pages, which we'll do in a minute or two, you'll see the back end of the page where that you can add like some of the search engine optimization information and some other things on the back side of the page. When you go to Builder, you'll actually see like the front side of the page and where you will actually be editing the page. And so I'm just going to pause for a second because, as I mentioned, as you already know, this is being recorded so you can play it back at your convenience. But feel free to interrupt me if I don't say something clearly, or if you're not sure what I said, or if I skipped over something. But do you have any questions with the stuff I went over so far?
Not a bit.
And you probably knew a lot of that already.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. And so what I want to share with you is that let's actually go ahead and start editing some of the pages to do some stuff. So let's go ahead and I'll show you as an example. If I click here, and let's say this allows you to sort them. So I'm going to do it alphabetical, just so that we were looking at the same list, A to Z alphabetically. So when I go to pages, I need to click that again because it starts on the bottom. Here's about, and then I click here, and here's the about, same list. So when I go to pages here, let's go to the about cabinetry, Captain's Cabinetry. And so this is opening the back side of the page. And just let me mention to you, it depends on your speed of your internet, the speed of your computer, how many windows you have open. There's a lot of data coming through your line. And so sometimes you'll click something. I am not known for patience. And so I have gotten in the habit of clicking too quickly. Try to do your best to sit tight, because sometimes it just takes, 15 or 30 seconds, depending on what's loading and everything else that's going on in your computer. So if you start doing multiple clicks because something didn't open right away, you'll start to cause yourself a problem because you'll be confused. You're like, I didn't click that. I clicked that. No, know what's going on here. And you just didn't have a chance.
That's good to know.
Exactly. So so what I'll show you here is that one of the things I don't like here is this name having this. So there's different areas. As you hover over different areas, you can see they kind of highlight, and then you can change some of the things in them. What I noticed here is that there's a slash mark that got carried over from Divi. And as I mentioned to you and Paul, it took me a little time because Divi, for whatever reason, it's known to do this. When you bring it into a new theme, a new place to live, try to transfer it, it brings in some odd code. And for whatever reason, it brought in lots of hashtags and whenever there was a hyphen. So I'm sorry, an apostrophe. So if we see these from time to time, we'll just clean them up. So I just click there, hit delete, that's fine. That's all done. And so down here, again, we're on the back side of the page, and this page is about, the Captain's Cabinetry. And down here, you can start to enter in some SEO information. Now, there are hundreds of different things you can do related to search engine optimization. So we'll mention them as time goes on, and we're doing different things together. The thing that I mentioned to you and to Paul, the essentials allows you to do some of this stuff and to start making a difference relatively quickly. Sometimes, we'll set it up so that we can ping Google and Bing and Yahoo and stuff, and it'll send out like a signal. Please come and send a spider to crawl through the website. And we'll do that a little bit later on after we've got a few more things done. But with that being said, this is an area that you can start to add a key phrase. And the key phrase is between like maybe 1 to 3 words, maybe 4 words that represents this particular page. So, the title of the page is here. And then what you might, something simple, because that's what this one is. On your Cambria page, or your Red Oak cabinet, don't remember the names of the different vendors, but you would be using words that would focus on that. So I'll just go ahead and just put, Captain's cabin. Probably, is that great? It's not, wonderful, but it serves the purpose of giving this page a little bit more information. You could add another word if you wanted to. You go back through and do that. What I also want to show you, and this, I'm kind of skipping around. So again, you may have to watch this video with a glass of wine or a bottle of wine to get through it. But what I'm showing you now is SEO information. Normally I'd be showing you how to edit the page, but the website, but I think you're able to, grasp the concept of both because of your experience and who you are. So with that being said, what I want to show you here is that this is called the snippets. And as you might know, do you know what a snippet is? Have you heard that term before?
I have heard it, and I've worked with it, and then I don't work with it for a little while. So I had to refresh my memory. So
all I did was is snippets. You can see I just did a Google. Are you seeing my screen? Okay, Google search. Okay, so you see cabinets, and then right here, these are snippets.
Okay.
And so the reason why I'm showing you this is that with the software that I'm showing you how to use, and I've installed for you, is that you're able to edit your own snippet for different pages. What Google used to do was sometimes what would happen is you'd have snippets. Well, here's an example. They don't really have anything here now. Yeah. So what Google used to do is sometimes they would grab what they thought was part of a snippet, that they put there. Other times you would have no snippet, like these two don't seem to have a snippet. And here it's 2 lines. Here's an example. Here's 1 line. And so here's another 1 line. So the length of these snippets have varied over the years from 0 to 3. I think at one point there were more, but I think people did not like it. Google, the algorithms quickly determined, I guess now, that 2 or maybe 3 is the most snippets. But you can see these have none. And down here, this only had 1. So as a user, I read snippets. I don't know if you do, but I believe that, a large percentage of people do. And that's why Google considers snippets an important, not just Google, why search engines consider snippets important for search engine optimization, because this allows users to quickly see and help them select which one of these, because a lot of these are ads, or they're the big box stores, and you want to be able to give a snippet that would help bring in users other than the big box stores. So with that being said, now you know what a snippet is. Now with the search software you have here, I'm back. You're seeing your page, your website. Okay, correct? Okay. So here you actually get a chance to edit your snippet, and so they call it here the meta description.
That's where I got really confused, because the meta description, I always added that, but then they kept saying, snippet. So it's the exact same thing.
Yes, it would be. Yes. But I think that there's more when you start talking about meta stuff. I'm talking about the other meta tags, that sometimes it'll include other types of information. For this particular back end of the page, your meta description is what's being fed for your snippets. So, I'll type in a few words here, and then you can go back and edit, again, at your convenience. But it might just be, mid Michigan's, cabinet and I, probably use correct,
Yeah.
okay, so I won't, comment that.
Yeah.
So you go through now, the beauty of this, again, this software allows you, as you might have noticed, you start to have a line that'll go across here. It'll let you know when you're getting close that you have enough. And then if you have too much, go ahead and finish the sentence out, or 2, 3 sentences, one sentence out if you're in the
It will turn red.
sentence. But that part of the snippet may not show up.
Right.
You can see right here, it shows up with 3 dots. But go ahead and finish the snippet, just because, again, you're providing information. And how many characters, I don't remember how many you actually get, but it'll change color as you go across the line here.
So it does not hurt you if you go a little bit over.
No, it doesn't hurt you at all. And it doesn't hurt you if you go under, it just won't help you as much. You might as well add in the information, because it's food for the search engines, for the spiders and the bots that crawl each page.
That helps tremendously. I used to have to sit there and try to get exactly, because it. Okay.
Yeah, that's difficult to do. So you'll be able to roll with that. And you can see right here, this is how it's starting to show up here. So that's a good sign. Now, let's see what else I want to show you. So with that being said, let me move this in my window. Okay, so what I could do, if, let's say that I'm done, I would just click update, and then it'll update it on the page. So we've just done a little SEO on that particular page. What you're going to want to do is go through each page and do the same type of thing. Add a snippet, check your title, and get in your key phrase right here. Okay.
Now, do we have to do readability and all of that as well?
You know what? At this time, most of the stuff it'll flag. It'll tell you some of the stuff. It'll say, and this is when we start seeing some of the pages. And this, again, search engine optimization information. I'll show you this on the page. Your website is basically, I would say, light on content. And so readability may be fine, but you really don't. Well, here it even says here, only 7% of the sentences can contain a transition word, which is not enough. Use more of them. So you're not, what I would say to you, and then you click it, it'll help you with that. You're not JCPenney or Sears, and you're selling all these different T-shirts, and now you're Star Wars, now you're Cinderella, now you're Disney, all the different things. So some of this, the SEO, you're going to have to decide, and Paul will decide. You could try to do everything, and you never would be able to do it. Or do you get most of the basic stuff in and done, and then, then where I think where you will, I'll show you, is that your blog post, is I think where you could end up helping yourself and helping the business there, because it'll be a quicker return, I think. But some of this other SEO stuff, it may be for a later date, but certainly not at the very beginning. And the other thing here, you can see here, Yoast is trying to sell you the premium. We
already have the premium.
You do?
Yep.
Then then we will go through some of that other stuff. I did not know you were already paying for the premium. What are you paying for that? I don't remember the prices.
I don't remember either.
Okay, well, we'll make sure that we continue using that then. So we will go back and visit some of that, because that's clearly not activated here at this time. But this just is a matter of, again, it's fine. It's great that you have the premium. Most of my clients don't. In fact, none of my clients do, because most of them are mom and pop shops, and the premium is more where that you're really, and you're in a competitive market. It's just a little bit different than as opposed to, you're competing with Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, all that type of stuff. So Kmart,
we got it to help with, the blog post. So I have to wait until I get the 2 green smiley faces for the SEO and the readability.
Okay.
And that is, it's taught me a lot, but wow, is it stressful to try to get that,
Yeah. And so you're more advanced with that. That's great. And even here's your paragraph length, it says none of your paragraphs are too long, but you do want to get, more content in, because you really just don't have enough content, because your content are your words. And if you talk more, it gives more food. Again, you'll hear me say this, spiders and bots crawl through the website. You got a teaching background. They index every word that's on every page. And so if you have the words there, it'll help them when someone's searching for beige countertop, marble, finish, whatever the words would be, that Google and Bing and Yahoo will know this is we want to rank them high with their snippets because they have beige, marble, countertop, that type of stuff. So,
okay. So on every page, real quick, on every page, do we want to have, I know there's a place where you have different keywords.
Yes.
Yeah. So is that on every page? Do we want to have the different keywords, or is that more for the blog posts?
Okay.
I don't think go ahead.
Okay. Again, it's a minor difference, but just, you'll see here that Yoast is the SEO plugin, and this is for they use the word key phrase. Now that's different than your keywords.
True. Yes.
So the reason why I mentioned that is because for this page, this is a key phrase for this page. Now, will you have keywords on the page? Absolutely. You'll have lots of, in fact, more keywords you have without stuffing, the better. So, you okay with all that?
Yes.
Okay. So where we're at now, Kelly, is that I chose to show you the pages, the page side. So I went to page and then we went here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead now. I can click launch Beaver Builder. And so now Beaver Builder is going to kick in. And again, it takes a second here. Page update. It had to say what I just changed with your snippet. And I don't know if you can see, I've got way too many tabs open. So
you're good.
So, okay. So what I want to show you here again now is I hover over the header. It doesn't highlight. There's nothing I can change because I'm not in the right place to do that. As I mentioned, the header and the footer and a few other things, you got to go to a different place. But as I start to hover over the body, you can see it starts to highlight, so I can change different aspects of the page. Okay. So what I want to show you is that as I hover over them, there's a wrench, and the wrench changes. You can see this. Then these are called modules or widgets, and a module or a widget can be basically anything. It can be one of these type of bars, a progress bar. It can be a text box. It can be an image. That's you, right?
Yep.
Yep, there you go. Recognize your big, nice smile anyway. So
thanks.
And so as you hover, and this one here is a heading setting. So the wrenches change depending on whether you're hovering over a text box, a number counter, or here you start getting into the row. And this is important. We'll talk about this more, maybe a little bit today, but certainly more when we do another little session together. Again, you've got this on video, so as you play it back, you'll say, oh yeah, now I remember what he's talking about, or he didn't explain that very well. And then you can write down the question. I'll cover it next time. Yep. So what I want to show you is you hover over the different areas, is that now you have the option to highlight them. They're highlighted, and then you have the option to edit them. Okay. And so but this time I'm not going to get into showing you how to edit the rows. It's not a big deal. It's quicker and easier if I show you how to edit something like here. This is you can see it's a text editor setting. So if I click on and so let's say you want to change this, and you already started drinking the wine too early, and then you click here, but you want to change the text. Well, it's not gonna. This will open up here in a second. Row settings. Oh, I'm sorry. What happened is again, sometimes they do different updates. And so this bar, I don't know if you're seeing on the right-hand side of my screen, this used to show up, let me see, over here. And so when I was talking to you, I'm looking over on this side of the screen for this particular, I'll call it a work area. I forget what they call this.
I'm going to actually
with the latest update, what they're doing is they're putting it on the right side. I'm actually going to move it back over here on this side because I actually am used to that. So for whatever reason. So what I wanted to show you is that, let's say you started drinking wine too early, you want to edit this, you make the mistake and you click on this wrench and you want to change member. Well, it doesn't show up. And so you clicked on the wrong wrench. and this particular work area is for the row. And so then all you do is you just go back to the area that you wanted to work on, and that's the text box area, the text editor, text area. And so now it shows up here. You follow me okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. So what you could end up doing is you can work here in this area and you can stretch this out. Let's say, you know, you wanted, let me see if I can do this. So here we go. You know, if you wanted to change the size of it, I think you said you're working on a large screen for whatever reason, for visibility or whatever you want to do, you can change that for yourself.
Okay.
But while you want to do here, because you have experience with this, this is just a basic text editor box. There's nothing fancy about it. Let me ask you, have you used text editor boxes before?
I did a little bit when I did the testimonials, when I added those.
Yep.
Yep.
A text editor is very similar to just Microsoft Word. In
Right.
fact, Microsoft Word is basically a text editor. And
Okay.
so for you, Kelly, as you go through these different pages, I mean, you could email me and say, Mark, could you please change, you know, Greater Lansing to capital area? Well, it would, you know, Home Builders Association, it would take you longer to send me the email than it would for you to just go here. This opens up, and then you just go ahead and make your changes right there. And then you just hit save. So
you make the changes on the left-hand side?
Yeah, I think it automatically. I don't think that is, I think what's happening now with this latest update, again, I think it came out about 3 weeks ago, and some of the stuff I wasn't exactly sure. I believe whenever you click the box, it'll open up a work area for you to then work on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And this confused me earlier, but I believe, again, you probably could make this full screen and whatever, but when you click, I believe they set this up to make it quick. So when you click on this area, the module or widget, you can quickly make your change, go to this module or widget, make the change, go to this module, and I like it. I just, you know, it took me a minute. Okay, now, and they put it on the right side, and I did not like that because I'm always used to look on my left side of the screen to do my editing here. So, but you can do whatever you want with that. But so with that being said, when you click on the right side, it'll show on the left side, and then go ahead and make your edit from there.
Okay.
See, you see what's happening with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now for About Us, we're gonna want to move the accreditations probably underneath our individual pictures.
I'm very sorry. You said the About Us. I'm on the About Us page, and so the accreditation is where?
The accreditations, I was thinking about, moving that, all the accreditations below our individual pictures.
Okay, thank you for saying that. So let's just do a quick example. I can grab, this is a row, and the row includes everything that's in that row. Now, if you said, Mark, I just want to move this paragraph, then I would just, you can see it change, not on the wrench. I'm on the little anchor spot.
Wait, actually, I think we're gonna keep that there, but the accreditations, which is above.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Kelly.
Yeah,
appreciate that. I had wine with my cereal. So thank you for saying that. And so what I'm going to do, so it's the same principle, but I would have made a mistake. So let's do it the correct way. So I could just grab this box, the widget, but I'm going to go ahead and just grab the whole row. So it's just the same principle. I just was grabbing the wrong row. And so I'm moving it down. You can see it here on the left side of the screen. And there, I'm going to drop it right here.
Keep going.
Okay.
Underneath all of our pictures.
Okay, I can do that too. So here we go, and just
there you go.
So right there.
Yep.
Now, for me, this takes up a lot of the page. So what I would, give you a thought to think about is I would go to add. Let me see. Go back here. Okay. What I would do is I would go to my left-hand side of the screen. And I would, for me, this is, it takes up the whole width of the screen. So I would go ahead and add 2 columns. You could add more. And so I just added a 2-column row, and you can see you can see it says row settings. So I've got 2 columns. I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop that into that column. And then what I'm going to do is that, and again, I'm speaking very quickly. You're not going to learn all this at one time.
Yeah, this,
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm showing you now, and in a week, in a week, you'll say, now, that guy was talking so quick. He thinks he's, but I'm just showing you now. We'll do it again.
Yep.
You'll start to play around with it. So I'm in the row. Okay, now
Okay.
here is this widget. I'm
Mhm.
going to make this row. You see, it's not going full width. So I click on the row settings, and I can see that the width is set for fixed width, so it doesn't go the full width. So now I do full width. So now if I want to do a color background, I can color the background. And let me just show you again. You're not going to learn this all now. I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
It's the background. Let's just use a color. And let's just pick any, let's just go with green for now, just so you can see it.
Yeah.
So obviously we're not going to leave that. I'm just showing you.
Right.
But what I want to show you is that the content, I'm going to scroll back up. The width is full width with the color, but the content is still fixed width. So if I go content full width, now it spreads out. Now let's just show you a difference here on this row. Now we're going to this row. Give it 1 second to load. Okay, I'm going to change the content to fixed width. You see what happened here? You see that what we changed? We changed. The row is still there. The row is full width. This is a white background, and I'll just show you the difference. This is a background that has none. I'm going to change this color to, let's just go a pink, a red, so you can see it. So, okay. So you can see these are both full width, but the content on this is full width, but the content on this is fixed width. And the reason why I'm showing this to you now, again, in a week or 2 weeks, you might want to start creating a page or editing a page that I created. And you could say, I really don't want this full width. I wish it was smaller. I'd like to make it full width. This photo is kind of small. So then you would just go here to row settings. The row itself is full width, but the content is fixed width. So now I go fixed width. No, I go full width. Now it's larger. That looks better with the photo, I think. But you can change it, And then with here, let's get rid of that colored background because that's crazy. Just click that here. Now it's still full width. Now here, because this is only one paragraph, I'm going to make this, fixed width. So now I click on the wrench, and this is full width, full width. I'm going to make this fixed width. Now it just sucks it in some. And I'm going to scroll down to get rid of that crazy green. And then I'm going to hit done just so we can take a look at the page.
So a quick question, why did you have the 2 columns? Like how you had that?
Well, the reason why I did it, I probably would have like if I was just starting just to show you, that's just me. This is 2 columns. It's got a photo and a text box. And so I would have done something here. I would have done the photos on this side. I would have done the text on this side, the photo on this side.
Gotcha.
Just to balance the page, but you could have done, one across or however you wanted to do it. And this is way too much white space. And so my guess is there's an extra row in here that has nothing in it. So what I want to do, and again, I'm showing you this as you play it back and watch this, is that you will go to build. Now, before I went to pages and then we went to about. But here I'm going to go to builder. Now, I can go, because I'm on the about page, I don't need to go find the about page. I don't need to go here.
Right.
I don't need to do that. I can just click builder. Well, then it'll open it up because I'm on that page already.
Okay.
And so now I'm in builder on that page. And I was looking for why there's so much white space. There's 2 reasons I can see there's so much white space. One is this row is here. I made a mistake, or I think what I did was I took this text editor box out of it. So I left it there. So you got to go back, clean up the page. So now that's gone. But this has way too much space. And so my guess is probably space here. So let me just all I did was hit delete. It's Microsoft Word, and I just got rid of the space. And then I hit done. hit publish. I should probably have added a photo, you know, because I want to get that done at some point in time here too.
Yeah,
And now we just kind of made that change that you asked about. We moved accreditation.
okay.
So let me pause and see if you have any questions on any stuff so far.
Not so far.
Okay.
I'm following you. There's a little, you know, some little tiny things, but
It's
as
a-
I look back over this, it will help.
It's the first time you've gone through this, so I'm sure you're very smart. I can tell that. But if you were able to learn it on first time, you'd be super amazing. So it usually takes a couple times to go through this. The main thing is by having somebody like, I mean, I can show you we're recording this. This saves you a lot of time, because if you have to try to learn it on your own or watch a YouTube and go back and forth, you know, I'll show you what you need to know. If you have questions, you want to know how to do something, I'll show you how to do it. So, and sometimes my clients like Dolly Parton has Imagination Library for children's reading. Well, you would know that.
Yes.
Talking to a teacher. So on one of them, there's Sullivan County Imagination Library is one of my clients. And so the reason why I mentioned it to you is sometimes they want to do something with the website. So they will just send me a text and Sandra will say, Mark, I know you showed me how to do a photo gallery. I don't remember, you know, and so then what I'll do is I'll just create a 1-minute video and then I'll post it and just, you know, that later that day, you know, it might take me a day to get the thing done and upload it. And then she, oh yeah, thank you. Now I remember, you know, so, or, you know, and then that saves a little, or if you have several things, I don't remember how to do some stuff, you can just write it out. I'll create a short video, upload it, and then you can play it back. And okay, now I remember what he's talking about. So,
Yeah.
okay, so we're still on this about page. And the reason why I was doing that is that there's some stuff that needs to be changed on it, obviously. And what I'm just going to do, just because we're on this page, I'm just going to go back again. I'm going to click on Builder so that it opens up the Builder function on this page. Takes a minute to load. And then I showed you before that this is a text editor box, and we already saw how that opens up. There's some stuff here that's a little bit, this is just an image, so there's really not complicated at all. Is Christina still with you guys?
No.
Okay, so this would be an example that we would go here to this particular, what I did here, I believe these are columns is how I set this up. I could have done this as what they call a call on. As I'm looking at it, I am going to change these to call outs. I'm not sure. I must have built this page via the theme, but no, I normally would do these slightly differently. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how if I was going to start this from scratch, is that I would go to module, and then I would, first I would go to rows, and then I would enter in 4 rows, a 4-row column, and I just made a mistake, and I'll show you. What I did is I put these 4 columns in this row, and I don't want to do that because I want to create my own a new row. So I'm just going to go ahead and just delete these. Again, I worked too quickly. I should have been, you know, let's slow down, do it, you know, but it's quick to change it. So now I'm back. Now I'm going to go 4 rows, and I'm going to make sure I drop it in a new row as opposed to drop. You see what happens here? It drops it in that row. I want my own new row. And now I've got a new row, and it automatically defaults to fixed width. I'm going to go ahead and blow this out to full width here. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the content full width. So now I'm kind of getting back to where I'm at, where I was. And I could just move, but this is what I don't want to do. Like, this is a heading, and then this is a photo. And so I believe what I did when I built your website is that this was a page template. I used it, you know, not knowing how we're going to do. I would have done it slightly differently. Again, there's more than one way to do something. So what I'm going to show you is that, you know, what I would have done was use something called a call out. And one of the beauties of this, Kelly, and you're going to, please don't be overwhelmed by this, but you have dozens or scores of widgets or modules that you can put on any page. You probably will only use a dozen, if that, but you have the option to use dozens and dozens. And let me show you what I mean. And again, with Divi, I forget how they even offer this, but everything's through a Divi type of modular plugin. This, you have several options. I'll just show you as an example. So when you click on, so what I did here is I've got I've created a new row, and
Right.
I put 4 columns. Now I could have just created a row with 1 column. I thought I did, there it is right there. But that's not what I did. I created 4 columns. So now, I mean, let's just go ahead and delete this.
Mhm.
And so what I can do is I can add modules or widgets to each one of these columns. Or if I had just had 1 column, I could have done that. But I've got 4 columns here. Now, I mentioned you have scores of options, and you can add things to be as creative as you want. You can add like an audio clip. You can add like different buttons. You can add a photo. You can add now you would not do a photo gallery in this because it's too small.
Right.
But you could add like a slideshow, a contact form. I won't go through all these because you can read for yourself, but these are just some of them that you can end up adding as a module or a widget. And one of the things I'll point out to you is here you can see the word post. And because you're a blogger and you have a blog, and we'll be doing this more on your website, at least you'll have the option to on your blog post, is you'll be able to display the blog post on other pages that are not your blog page. Were you able to follow that okay?
Yep.
And so when you create a blog post, you will add a category. The category might be, and you can add more than 1 category, but for our conversation right now, you may add a category countertops. So when you create the blog post, you might say, here's John Smith with his new white countertop. And then you might say something else and have a picture. And you would add the category very quickly, that's countertops. Now, what you'll have the option to do 1, 2, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks, whenever, again, we're at that stage, depending on your time and interest and energy, is that you then could add posts. Here's a post slider. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to drop this in. It's going to create a new row because I'm not dropping it in this row. Remember, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So now I'm dropping in this post slider into a new row. And what it's starting to do right off the bat, it's picking up the posts that are there because you don't have, I don't think you have categories right now. And we didn't tell it to select a category. It's just picking up your post. But you will have the option to have your post be certain categories. So on your countertop page, you could have the option to have your countertop post. This is a slider, I think we picked. What did we pick? A slider? I think we did. Post slider settings. So, but you could have picked a different type of this option to display your post. So I know that we're way ahead of things. But
actually, that's really a neat idea. I like that.
Yeah, I knew you would. And so again, it's not something you're going to probably start doing tomorrow, but you have to kind of know where we're going. To get to California, you can get there a lot of different ways, but you're not going to get there tomorrow. But along the way, you're going to have a lot of options and things to do. Now, as a reminder, repetition's a key to learning, telling those preschool kids time and time again how to do something. So here we are, row setting. And so I click on row settings, shows up here on the left side. This is fixed width. See that? So then I go full width, but it didn't really change much. What's going on? Well, it made the background, or it made the row itself. It changed the color to show you. I'm going to scroll back up here. The width of the row is full width, but the content is still fixed width. So when I click full width, now it's more full width. Now, again, later I can show you, this has what they call margin and padding. If you don't want margin and padding, we can change, we can remove those or change the width of them. There's no point in getting into it now because, again, we're weeks ahead of where we're at. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this whole cancel. And let's just get rid of this whole row. But Anyway, so I don't know where I'm going other than to say, I wanted to show you the call out because I do use call outs because it'll keep all these together. And I'll just show you as an example what I mean. So, I started showing you all the different options for your widgets and modules. So this is under a group called standard modules. There's already, I don't know, 24. Then you click here and you go PowerPack modules. Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. What do these things mean? I don't even know what some of these are because I haven't bothered to click on them because I haven't had a need to use any of them. But you've got lots of options that, a flip box will flip stuff back and forth. You can do hover cards. So when you hover over it, it changes or does something different. I mentioned to you before about you can do before and after photos. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. BC Clifton's. So this guy here, this site isn't done on one of these pages. I was going to see, I thought we had a before and after shot, but when you slide over, let me just see real fast if I won't bother taking it. Here it is. So you can see here before, this is after.
Nice.
So your kitchen, I know you said you go out and do the shots. Well, if you're doing a kitchen or bathroom renovation, this, we can do this, but you need both photos. You can't do without that. So that's just a neat effect that you can, again, getting to California, you can do lots of stuff. So this is PowerPack modules, but you're still not done. Oh my gosh, the ultimate add-ons. You may not have noticed, but these are totally different than these. Well, some are similar, but most of them are very different. And some work a little better, like, dual buttons as an example, maybe a yes, no, whatever these are, however the situation is. Some of these, sometimes I don't like the way it formats or did something. So then instead of using the PowerPack module, I'll go to the ultimate add-ons and I may see, do they have a different one, a different thing? And I'll just kind of use that. So, but you've got, these are add-ons and there's the WordPress widgets themselves that come standard with WordPress. And then you can save different ones. But the reason why I'm showing you that is I want to get back to the whole call out. So the way that this template was made was they put a header, a heading, then they did a photo, and then they did a text editor. What I would have done, and what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to use a call out. So I'm going to drop it in here. And this is stuff, again, this is helping you because this is how you may start to learn to edit the different modules or widgets on a page. So, showed you quickly how to do the text editor. Well, this is a call out, and the call out has a few things built into it. It has it built in. It's got the heading built into it. So I'm going to go ahead and do Judy right there. It's got the tag already set for 3. Okay, it's a little bit larger. I'll see how that sets up. And then I'll go with the text. It's got the texting built in, but I don't know what the text is. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go ahead and just highlight it. I'm going to do Control-C. I don't know if you use shortcuts on your keyboard. Do you do that?
Sometimes.
Okay. So I highlighted it. I did Control-C. I could have done a highlight and do a right mouse click and copied. It's the same thing. Yeah. But this is where I copied it from, but I'm working on the call out. So now I go back here, and now I'm here. I do a click here to get back to my text editor that's built in to the call out. And Kelly, you may already know this, is that when you use Microsoft Word and other programs, you can make stuff bold, yellow, green, and it's called styling. Well, the problem is sometimes if you use something like Word or other style sheets, that the style will carry over when you do a paste. And so what WordPress allows you to do, like I highlighted this looks pretty clean, probably because I probably pasted it clean. But if I copied this from Word, it may grab some styles, bolding, underlines, that type of stuff, and I want to paste it clean. So now I'm back here, and I would go here, and I would go to the text. It's a visual text. And so text allows you to then I can see it's not clean code. That looked like an empty box. But you can see here these are leftover code. I don't know, whatever. So this is for spacing, or maybe when I was clicking back and forth, but I'm just going to paste over it and hit Control V, and now that's clean code. I hit
Okay.
save, and it basically looks the same. Well, I can see here, you can see this is probably where the spacing came in right here. When I did this, this is the, oops, Control Z. Somewhere it picked up the spacing, but now when I go here, and it's also not centered, it's left left justified. Now, if I want to, now I probably, you can decide if you want to change the styling, then you click here, and then now you can go to the visual part because it's already pasted clean, and then you can do the visual editor part, make it bold or whatever else you wanted to change.
Okay.
So again, you may not catch all this on the first time. I'm sure you're probably going to watch this again. Maybe you will if it doesn't put you to sleep, or maybe you watch it when you go to sleep. It'll help you get rest. But so what I did here is I've only created, oh shoot, where's Judy's photo? I said I was gonna do a call out. Well, I didn't add the photo yet. So I got to click on the call out again. And then across the top, you can see right here, this call out. And this is where you can change some of the styling. You can change like the background of the different aspects of it. Now this gets kind of fancy. I mean, like I said, when I tell you and Paul, you can change everything. I mean, you can change everything, and you're not going to, but you can. And here's just an example. Here's the heading. If you want to change the heading color, this will show up here in a second. Hit save. Okay, so now Judy's title is, if you see it, it changed that text to that blue. But you could change the background on it. This was the heading color, but you could have changed the background on it, whatever. So I went back to no color, and it should default to the normal color, which would be black. Click on that. Now it's back to the default. Now I still didn't add the image yet. So I click here, click on image. I'm going to do a photo. I could add an icon, but that's not very nice for Judy.
Right.
I want to add a photo. So then I want to click select icon. Now this gets into your media library. And this is a new thing for you. You've used media library before, just a slightly different way to get to it. So here you've got your media library, and then I go looking for a picture of Judy. You've got right now, she is. What I want to show you is that you've got 390 images. You don't want to load up, hundreds and hundreds of images if there's no purpose, because number one, you'll start to cause you'll run short on memory. We'll need to move your website to have you more, that type of stuff. And it doesn't help you for having to try to sort through this stuff. If you have a lot and you want, I can get you a plugin that will allow you to separate your media library into folders. So when you first click on this, you'll see some different buttons here, and you could have a cabinet, countertop folder, people folder, a block, whatever else you wanted. So, but with that being said, we want to get Judy's image back up there in place on the, here she is here. And this gets into SEO information. You're already doing this, so you're going to want to continue to do that. So you want to add your alternative text. That's for readers and for people who don't have images visual. The title, you want to add a title, just 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Caption is not really necessary because most of the time you're not going to display captions. Now, you might be
the blog post I did on some of them.
Yes.
So on the blog post I did a little bit, but other than that.
Yes.
Now, would that real quick, would that be like there's some pictures like in our gallery that they would hover over a certain thing and then it would come up what it is. That's the caption, correct?
Not necessarily. If I understand what you're saying, and for the way I believe that it works on all the themes, when you hover over it, it should see the alternative text, because some people don't have the editor set or the browser set for visual. So the alternative text should tell them, I believe, is what shows up. What the caption is something that you can add, and on different themes and parts of the page and widgets, you can have the option to display the caption or to turn off the caption. So when you start to do your blog post, you know, that's an example. I was thinking you may decide to choose to show the caption, and we'll show you how to, on those images or those blog posts or that widget, you can click show caption.
Okay,
Most of
and
my
that's just the
clients,
words underneath, so it'll always be there. Yeah.
yes, but most of the time you would not. But for
Right.
your business, yes, you might. And
Okay,
then your description, 1 or 2 sentences describing what's in the photo. You
okay,
want to use your keywords.
yeah,
Your compression level, we use other software on the server side that will compress the images. So if you did, no problem. If you don't, we compress them else. So let me go ahead, and the size of it, this was the thing I was running into. This is a small image.
yeah,
You know, so it'll be fine for 4 columns, but it would not look very good if you get into a half page. If somebody's looking at this image on a tablet, it's going to blow it up and it's not going to look as good.
now I
And
have that image
yeah, and
myself
so
in my, should I put that
swap
in
it out.
here?
Yeah, you'll end up
Okay.
uploading. This is where I think, Kelly, you can, because I did this kind of slot. Well, number one is I imported all this stuff from Divi, and I don't know that you needed all of that. Then what
Right,
I did is I went to your Facebook page. I should have just asked you for images. And for whatever reason, I went to your Facebook page and I just grabbed images. And then
okay,
that's where a lot of these are from. In fact, the Made in America that I'll just mention to you is that was off of one of your blog posts. That's why I thought, okay, Made in America, there's a flag and then blah, blah. And so I thought, okay, I'll just change that out. But
yeah,
and so a
and
lot of these I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
So a lot of these you don't need, like we're not. You said you're not going to use these. No, you could delete these one by one,
Okay,
but what you may end up wanting to do. Give me 1 second here. Is okay. I'm gonna hit save. Did I get her picture in there? No, I took her picture away. Let me do this. Let me get Judy's face back on there. Image, photo, select photo. Let's go back and add this. Then I want to show you something else. So look, we'll just add this right now. It's
Yep.
it's small, but it works for our conversation. It's loading it right now. And again, for a quarter size of the page, it's fine. But when
Right.
you get larger, it's not fine. So I'm gonna
Okay.
hit say, oh, this is the other thing. I'll just show you real quick here. I'm clicking on the call out again, and the image right now is above the heading. And me personally right now, I don't like that. I would do it below the heading. So now Judy's name is going to go above the
Okay.
photo, and just like it is down here. And then I would also center Judy's name. So I would go to the style, and then I would go to the font, and then I would go to center. And then I'd hit save.
Now in here, would we center all the wording, like how you had it below?
Only it only centered because what we were in here, okay, we're in the
Right.
call, and we're only let me go back here. I was in the
Image. No.
let me see, where was I? Photo. No. Okay, so I was in the style button, and then if you scroll down, this is for you see here, heading. Let me go back up. This is bouncing around me. Okay, see the word heading?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and see the word text. Now, if I want to change the center for the text, it's down here. But I was working on
The heading.
the heading, which is here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So do we want the wording? Judy has.
It's up to you. There's no right or wrong. The disadvantage of it, and we'll just do it. I'll just show you.
Yeah, it helps me to know.
The disadvantage is, let's see if it'll do this first, but I may have to hit save. Let's see, what did I do wrong? Let's go back here. I'm in the heading. I need to go to here. Don't you love when things don't work the way they're supposed to here?
Oh, yeah.
That's the font equal. Oh, you know what? I bet you I have to hit done. And I don't know why this is, if this has to do with there. Nope. There you go. Okay, so obviously I hit save, publish, so it took me out of the builders. Now I want to go back to edit the page because this is what the page looks live right now. I can see here there's obviously a row. This is messed up, and this is not centering because that's what we were trying to do. So I'm going to go back to builder.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll back down. Let's take a look here and see number one. Why is there all this space? Well, I believe this space is showing up here because of this. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, you can see now, you see what's happening? Okay, so that's there. And now I'm going to highlight here. Actually, I'm going to go back to the, not the heading, but here for font and then center. Craziness. I don't have an answer on this, Kelly. It's but clearly not working the way it's supposed to, and I don't have an answer. I would say once in a while, you know, people will report bugs and then the builder people fix it. I don't know why this is doing that this time. You know, I'm trying to get the thing to center like down here. What I was going to show you, the disadvantage of centering is you can see here, this doesn't, you know, look so great because it's two words over the center of the thing.
Right.
And this doesn't line up. So sometimes it really depends. Like sometimes I guess it's a choice. I probably would line this up as left justified, but then you could center, but then center the photo. So let's go ahead and do that, because again, I don't know what's happening with the text, but let's go ahead and we should be able to center the photo.
Sometimes I've had to get out totally and then go back in, and then it works.
Thanks for understanding, because you know, it's frustrating sometimes when things happen, and and sometimes it's a cache issue, but I don't know what's happening here. Maybe if I cleared it, it would work. But so let's go back here to image, and I'm on the image itself here.
Yeah.
And then photo style is right here. You see a line, and then center. You see it just moved it just a little bit.
Yeah.
But then when I save it to the page, it should move it more. Let's just go back here now. I bet you this is right here. This was the issue. I'm on. This is my guess. What I believe is that there's like, let's say a line of command. If I said, Kelly, come here and sit down, that's different than me saying, Kelly, sit down, come here. Well, they're both the same commands, but I believe this is what's stopping the.
This is the most important command, and then
you understand exactly. And so this is why I was getting frustrated. Believe me, I didn't know what was going on, but here I am trying to teach you, and I can't figure out what's going on. So let me hit done, publish, and you can see that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So I'm glad we now just published it. So so you can see here the text is centered, the image centered, and the heading centered. I would think you can think about going, you decide. There's not a right or wrong.
Right.
To me, this does not look good. This is okay because it's more words. The thing that I would say to you is that because the websites are responsive, you can't control if people are looking at a screen that is larger width, or you know, on a tablet. So
exactly, yeah.
That's why it might be better to do left.
You can switch it back to left. That way, I remember to do that.
Probably so. So and then this is a call out. These are 3 different widgets in a column.
Right.
Okay. You follow me on that?
Yeah. So the top one is a whole thing, and then the other one is a 3 separate individual.
This is a widget that's called a call out.
Out. Okay.
It's something that I use a lot because it helps me because then when I want to move this, the reason I do it, it makes it easier for me to move the thing.
Yeah, because we're actually gonna want Paul first and then Judy.
And so what I would do as an example is I would move this back here and then
Yep.
I would duplicate it. But this is two in the same column.
Okay,
So then what I would do is I would move one of them over to this column
okay,
and then I would edit this one so that it's now, again, you'll be able to play this back. I'm going to go find a picture of Paul. And this might not be the photo, this is where you can add, again, this is a small photo, 289. This is small. And then we're in the photo, it's already centered. And then the text is left justified, but I mean, it's
we'll
centered.
want it left, yeah.
Yep. And then the image, and then this isn't Judy, this is Paul. So I go here, but again, I'm clicking here. I want to edit. Come on, I want to edit. And you go over here to edit.
Right.
And when you load it, I don't know on your page if it's going to load this work area on the right or left. So
But I can move it.
You just move it wherever you want to move it.
Okay.
And you just drag it with that. You can see I'm getting that little hash marks or whatever here to move it.
Okay.
And then, so this would be Paul's information. So now what I do, because this is, let me see here. I'm working on Paul and it says Judy. So I click on here and now that's here. I'm going to do Control A, Control C. And then I'm going to go back to where I was working. I click on this. I do Control A, I do Control V, and it's all Paul. I hit save. Save there. And then I would probably just duplicate this. And then, that would be you. And then I would duplicate this or whoever.
Yeah.
And for the other person.
Yeah, I'll be the last person, then Karen
Okay.
will be that person, so.
Okay, so again, I can show you how to do it. I think you know how to edit this for yourself. But so that's the call outs and the rows and how to edit text boxes and images and stuff. So I'm going to just delete this row, okay? Because you don't need it anymore, right?
No.
Okay, but okay, I want to delete this row. Okay, so I click here. Oh shoot, what did I do? I want
because it's all in the three things.
You want to get up here and get the row, get rid of it.
Okay.
And then here again, I don't like that. I'm going to drop in a photo. You can do what you want, and then I'll go to select photo. And just for simple, again, you can change this again, all text, the title, description, select photo. That's good enough for our conversation. Hit done.
Our old website, all of that is not filled in a lot of those, except for the ones that I did. So I was, okay.
You've got a little bit of work to cut off for you, and there's no point in doing it in Word. Just go ahead and click through this off. Now, what I would suggest for you is if you go to your dashboard and let's go to your media library.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you can kind of go quickly and okay, so this you would add in your text through here, add in your description, your title, your description, maybe your caption, and just go next.
And my question to you, that's what I did before. My question is, since you brought some in and they were too small, and then also on Facebook.
You should clean up. I would say what I would do, especially because you got a clean site, this one here, you can see the dimensions are fine. I mean,
that one we don't need, that's old. Yeah.
Okay, it's old, but I'm saying the size here, so I understand. So then you could delete it. But what I would do then, if you were going to clean up, let's say you want to get rid of all of them, start totally clean with your images, which probably would not be the best idea, but you could do a bulk select. Okay. And then you can start to click through and get rid of the ones, you don't want. And then go ahead and delete them permanently.
How do you do the bulk select if I did something like that?
When you're in your media library, this is an option right here.
Okay.
You probably never noticed it.
No, I never did.
Yep, because it changes because you're here and then you just probably got your image and you moved on. But when you click
Okay.
there, then you go bulk select, then it changes. So, and then you can
Okay.
select whichever ones you want.
All right. Or I can do individual. Now, what is the size that I want to make sure that
Well,
I'm larger?
You know, it's a great question. I would say like somewhere close to 2,000 is okay. If you did
Okay.
11 or 1,200, that's all right, but it may not magnify very well. And if you think about it, like you said, you're on a larger screen. Like my screen here, I think I'm on, I forget. You know, because I have most screens now are more horizontal and a 16 by 10 or 16
Yeah.
by 9 type of situation. So the thing is, like this one here, this is 16. So this is fine. We could probably use that most of the time. If it starts to blur, if we use it somewhere on a full screen, it doesn't look right, then we could change it. But on most people's screens, this would probably look okay. It
And now
just
my
scrolls
question
through.
is like that picture came over from a blog post. So would that,
The blog post, it didn't come over on the blog post. All of your images are added to your media library. And what I
okay,
was able to do was I exported your media library from the Divi theme, your other website. And then I imported your media library, media stuff into here. I believe most, if not all of the stuff transferred. And so if you don't want the image, again, you should just go ahead and hit bulk select and then click on the different images you want to get rid of. And then go ahead and hit delete permanently. And then it'll clean up your media library.
yeah, but my question is, it's like if I just use one picture for the blog post and they want to click on it and bring it up, if it transferred over from the Divi program and it's not big enough, will I have to connect it all again to the blog post if you know what I'm saying?
Well, if I'm understanding correctly, when you create your blog post, let's just go for an example. Let's you have a blog. I don't think it's linked
The
right
Kelly's
now.
Corner.
Thanks. I know it's right in front of
Yep.
me, but you can't see it. So. Okay. So, and again, I haven't done any formatting on post or your
Right.
blog. So
Yeah.
whatever we're looking at, you can see it doesn't, I guess it shows up here, but we haven't done any of the formatting yet at this stage. So at least I have not.
Right.
So this is how I kind of carried over and got imported in.
But if you
So
click on that has a whole bunch of pictures already in there.
yes. And so let me just click on this. The image is opening. So these are the ones, this is showing, it shows to display it here. And let's see what happens here.
Those don't look too bad.
It doesn't look too bad. No. So the size of these, the answers, I'm not sure. A lot of these are from, most of these, I think now that I think about this. Yeah, most of these are probably okay.
Okay.
The ones from your Facebook page, I only pulled ones that are okay.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
but the ones that from the Divi theme, they were not okay. And
Okay.
so, and some of them were the same, and I didn't get into it. I don't know if Divi shrunk it down, the other guy shrunk them down, or you shrunk them down getting into the Divi
I
theme.
did.
But if you go into the Divi theme and you go to your media library, you can start to see that a lot of them are smaller. And then
Okay.
because I imported them, they're probably maybe lower down. So, some are smaller and you may need to change them out. A lot of ththese are okay. And a lot of these are ones that here's another example. This is not, well, this was smaller and you want to kept it smaller.
Right.
So because of what it was.
Yeah.
That's the last one. I'm looking at right here just to kind of check dimensions.
Okay.
Are you able to see that the numbers changing
Yep.
quickly here, but they're all right here is where I'm looking. And the good thing is because I can see this file size, these are small. They're not going to take a long time to load. You really don't want something getting up above, I mean, if possible, you're about 5, 6, 7, 800, you're starting to get high. probably not over 1,000 kilobytes. You're getting too close to a megabyte, and that's just not good for your for people loading on a phone or slower internet. But these photos are all they're very good size. You can see that they're not much memory, and these are decent size.
Okay, now like these are all within like the 1600 range type
That's
stuff,
fine.
so that is okay.
You can
Okay.
run with those. Yep.
Okay,
Then you can delete that later. This one here, not so good. You know, it's
Okay.
okay, but that's really not so good
Yeah.
because it's not going to get much larger than it's on a half page. This may start to blur.
yeah,
On a large screen, this is definitely going to blur.
yeah, you want it crisp, okay.
Yeah. So, and you can see these. Oh, this was the flag. So this was appropriate for the flag. I should have just used that. I think I went and got a different. There's another one. That's like this is too small. I was mentioning to you here. I was trying to use a different size, but
Now
this
that
is-
one's actually an old picture anyways, but like if I know that it's not going to be very big on the picture, on the screen or anything like that, are those okay or?
they're okay. Yeah. I mean, again, the worst that'll happen is it'll start to pixelate. What you don't know, as an example, if you used it on a post and they're using a tablet, and the tablet, they turn it horizontal, and you're used to thinking, well, it's just going to be a phone this way, and they
Right.
use the tablet that way, then it may not look okay. But the beauty is, I mean,
Okay.
if you're really hooked on a photo, you know, you're better off going too large and too small. And the other thing is that, again, you don't want to spend too much time on every single one, but when you start to do it, you are able to see that again, this might be another week that we get into that, is how it would look on a tablet versus a phone versus a larger screen. And then you
Okay.
can kind of test right on the screen.
Okay,
So let me get out of the media library and just go back to the fact that on pages, and I'm just realizing, I just looked at the time, we're at an hour and a half. Are you okay for a few
oh my
more minutes?
gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
It went
time
by
flies
fast,
when you're having fun.
I guess.
So let me just show you a few more things just so that you can start to play around if you decide to do so. And then
Okay,
let's you and I figure out, or you can look at your calendar and we can decide when we want to do this again. But what I want to show you is that for you to play around is that when you go, first off, when you do stuff, there's nothing you can break. We've got backups. Even if you deleted everything, I can still bring it back. There's
That's a
nothing you
good
can do
thing.
that can, you know,
That's
you
a
don't
good
need to,
thing.
if we're freaking out, we can get it back.
Okay.
If you start to do something, you totally mess up, probably stop and then get out. We'll get back to it, but it's not that big because everything's quick and easy. You can just add it again. So if you delete something, and I've done that before where I've deleted something accidentally, well, just go back and rebuild it again. It'll only take you a
Okay.
few minets. So
Okay.
what I want to show you here is you got, you know, your pages in your builder. What you
Mhm.
can start to do today, tomorrow, at your convenience, is you can go to your different pages that are here. And let's just go to the Contact Us page. And I'm using the pages view.
To get in
And
the
this
back,
was the
yeah.
back end. Yeah, exactly. And you can see this does not have your focus key phrase. And
Okay.
you want to go ahead and get your snippet in. And that would be a worthwhile thing to do. And then
Okay.
you can go ahead and launch your Beaver Builder, and that gets onto the builder side of the page. Now I click that, but I'm going to get out of this just to show you. I'm going to hit done. Okay, so I showed you how to get pages, and then you went to whatever, Contact Us, and then you went to Launch Builder. But I could have just gone Builder, and then Contact Builder, and then Contact Us. It'll take a minute to load. Again,
Yeah.
so I'm speaking to myself.
No, yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Just wait while it loads. And then what you can start to see here is that, you know, you may or may not want to start to play around a little bit. You want to add another phone number here. It's a text editor. It's the exact same type of editor we were just looking at. Here it is here. And you may decide you want to add Paul's information here. The disadvantages of having email addresses on the websites is that they can get scraped and then they start to get spam. So
Okay.
that's why sometimes you want to use forms as opposed to, you know, it's okay to have maybe one of them, but this one here is more likely to get spam than Paul at Cabinetry because it's not been scraped.
So what,
go ahead.
I'm just trying to think. So is it more beneficial just to have the form versus,
The forms are best practice. You'll notice, but again, it doesn't hurt to have this because people do click on it and they'll send you a quick email. And you just have to be aware that you may catch a little bit more spam. If it gets overwhelming, then we can remove it. You'll still get some, whatever the case may be. But this one's out there, been out there for years. So
yes,
it's already been scraped. If
but
you're
like,
not getting,
Paul's hasn't been, so we're adding
Right.
his on there. So do I want to
Right.
ask him?
I would, there's no advantage for Paul to have his email on here. I can't think of one.
The only thing
personally.
he thought of is just that it's a more personal touch and people like to do that. But I know for a fact he doesn't want to be spammed. I know that.
And I can't say how
So-
much he would or would not be spammed, but for the personal
why
touch
open
of
it up?
sales, I mean, the Paul's got his picture on there. He's got his name on there. He's got his commitment to quality and on it. So this is a nice personal touch.
Okay.
And let me just say to you, you don't need this here on the footer because again, your footer got kind of cluttered. You might want to move this widget area, these widgets, and put them on the about page and take them off the footer area.
Yep. I actually have a lot of things that I do want to work on with you. So I don't know if we want to do that as well. That will help us get a little bit further.
But why don't we, if you're okay, I can plug away for a few more minutes with you. I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
I don't want your brain to get too full or anything like that, but why don't we go ahead and we knock out a few things?
Okay. How about the home page? Let's just start there so we can.
Okay, so I'm gonna go builder and then home. Find this here, home page right here.
Okay.
Page is loading.
Okay. Did you get my email regarding the Linden?
I did.
Okay.
Barely
so-
looked at it, Kelly, but I did know you mentioned, I did look at the new other website.
Okay. So basically the Captain's Cabinetry specializes in cabinet. We want that gone.
This here, okay?
Yep.
So I click on this. And let me
Okay.
say to you, I don't mind doing any of this. As you read through your list, you may recognize there's stuff you don't know how to do.
Yep.
And there's other stuff that you might want to do on your own, but that's up to you. But so the answer is okay. So do you want this whole section going?
The whole section. Yep.
Okay.
So just a big
so-
X.
So I would just hit here, get rid of the whole module. Now that's gone. And this was the part of the thing here. So I'm going to delete that. And now
Okay.
we're here and I can resize that image, but go ahead and tell me what else you wanted to hear with this.
Actually resize the image was one of them to make it larger. So it is a big.
Okay. Sure. Okay. And so this gets into the row settings. And so I
Okay.
go row. And the reason why it gets into the row settings is because this is a row here.
The whole thing is a row. Yeah.
Is a row. And so right
Okay.
now it said full width, fixed width was the content. And then the height was set to default. Let's go full height, see if that changes it. Sometimes you have to play with these a little bit. So here this went to full width.
Okay.
Now, again, sometimes the reason why you have to play with this is because sometimes you have images that are X height. And so sometimes it'll start to bounce. And so sometimes you need to, just depends what images. And I don't know if you want a slideshow. This background
Yeah,
right
we do.
now, you do?
Yep.
Okay, so right now it's set for a slideshow. Here, are you seeing my screen okay?
Yep.
And
We're
so
gonna
here it
switch the
says
pictures out.
You want to switch the pictures out. So then I go
Yep.
edit gallery. And then here, these are these photos. Let's go ahead and add to the gallery. Then, well, let's just delete the ones you don't want. So let me go back to edit gallery. You want all four of these
delete-
gone?
Yep, all four.
1, 2, 3, 4. And now we want to add to the gallery.
Okay. And then, let's see. I'm looking for him.
I'll tell you what, Kelly, and I don't mind doing this, but what I'm gonna just do, just because I'll show you, I mean, I'm gonna hit this, and
Yep.
this.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna hit, and then you would go ahead and fix these for yourself.
Yep.
And then I would hit add to gallery. And so these three right now are in the gallery. And then I would update gallery.
Okay.
Now, let's just take a look how this format. So this is how, let's just take a look, because I didn't check the size of these. This is set for 4 seconds. If you see on the left side of the screen,
Yeah.
4 or 5 seconds, that's okay. You start doing 3 seconds, you might start making people dizzy. They want to
Yeah.
see it. So you could do longer. 4 or 5 is okay.
Okay.
Most people won't stay on an image, that they're going to start scrolling. And so if you set
No,
it longer,
yeah, I say
It's gonna-
4 seconds would be good.
yeah. And then right now it's set to transition 1 second between as it changes. And then
Yeah.
you could do an overlay, color or gradient, because I noticed a lot of the ones you sent me earlier had a black overlay. And it looks like that's not there, but.
What does that mean, the black overlay?
You watch the color. You see how it's getting darker? It's a
Oh.
color on top of the image.
Gotcha.
Let me do the red overlay. You can see the red, more red. This is how you see the world through rose-colored glasses.
I gotcha.
So the reason why is because you were the 2 that you showed me before.
Had the
I forget
overlay.
They had a heavy black overlay on their image.
I think we're not gonna do an overlay right now.
I don't think so, but yeah, to me, I don't like them as much because
Yeah.
they're nice images. It kind of takes away from the image. So I don't use a lot of overlays. Now, if you want text here, then we would color the background, but I don't like covering the whole
Gotcha.
image, but the image has a lot more information.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
where am I at with stuff? So let me hit save. And so what we've done now, though, again, you may not want the gallery full height. And there's
Right.
advantages to disadvantages to having it different heights. So I'm gonna go back to row settings. And then
Cool.
this is full.
Probably have it a little bit less, yeah.
So what I sometimes you have to play with this. And so again, you've got this on video. So some stuff you can just ask me to do and say, Mark, I can't figure this out. If you want to play with it, I'm going to show you just how to sometimes play with heights of rows. Let's go with minimum height. And Kelly says that's not enough. And the problem is if I go, second. Okay, here, height. If I go full height, it's too much. If I want minimum height, it's not enough. And if I go default, let's just take a look. It's still not enough. Kelly said it's not enough. So I need to add something. And so this gets into the widgets and modules. So you go here for modules and you add a separator. And you see what I'm doing? I grabbed the separator, I dragged it in here. And the separator, it doesn't show up, but it's there. Sometimes it'll start showing up right away with a color. But I click on the wrench and let's just give it a color. Come on. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
No, the technology, I don't know, get cash or whatever, but I like when it works the way it's supposed to. So what I did, because again, Kelly wants more width, but she doesn't want more height, but she doesn't want full height. She doesn't want minimum. So I'm going to add a separator. Well, I certainly don't want a gray color in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you see what I'm doing here? I'm making it transparent. So now it's totally transparent. You follow me?
Yep.
Okay. So I click off of that and the height is only 44 pixels. And to show you, just because I should have done this the other way around, I'm going to add the color back. So you can see what I'm doing. Let's get this color back. And I'm going to click down so I can see, because when I'm on here, I can't see what's behind this.
Right.
So now I can see the height. And so I want to add, so I just kind of play, there's no rule. Sometimes it's just wherever my finger is. I go 222, 100 or 111 or whatever. But so because I started out here, I had 44. And so that's not enough. So let's just go up to 100. 95, that's fine. And that's not, all I'm working on is the height. And I
Right.
could, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and say, well, I could hit save. I'm gonna hit save. But I'm
So I
gonna
want
add
to add
another,
another separator.
I'm gonna, exactly, I'm gonna cheat and add another separator, but no point in going here and here. I'm just gonna duplicate it. And so if it
Okay.
works properly, let's see if I get in here and duplicate it. Wow. Don't know, Kelly. Give me a second here.
Yeah, it's all good.
I wanted to duplicate it and I don't know what's happening. So let me hit done and refresh the page here. Okay, so we've got that there. I'm going to go back and hit builder so that because I'm out of the builder, nothing's highlighting. So I want to
Right.
hit builder. And then instead of looking for the home page, because I'm already on the home page, I click builder. It opens the home page. Hopefully this modular widget will open. Now I see it here. As you already know, I was going to cheat
Okay.
and just hit duplicate. And I probably should white it out first because there's no point in then having to do the transparency twice. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
instead of color, I'm going to make it totally transparent. I'm going to delete this one. It would be the same purpose. And now this is a separator. It's got it's got nothing. It doesn't have any height. It's got 44. This one here is a separator, and it's got 95. So then I hit duplicate and duplicate once more. I'm going to get rid of this other one of 44 just because I don't need it.
Right.
And I don't know. That's up to you, Kelly. Does that look okay? I don't, you may want to change it. You can, modify
Yeah, once we
it.
get, yeah.
You can play around with it. Now, if you want to add words in here, then you want to add a text editor between the separators or a heading between the set things. But you at least know how to do that there. So how about the next thing? And we'll kind of continue going from there.
We weren't sure if we were going to keep the header up on top.
Okay.
And I also sent the logo.
Okay. So I don't mind showing you the header and the footer, but because we're on the body right now, let's stay on the body.
Okay.
If you don't
All
mind,
right.
and then I'll show you the
Nope,
header.
I
It's
totally
almost the
don't.
exact same thing. It's just a different place.
Yeah, and we can do that another time too. From the basic to the elegant, right there, I'd like that bigger.
Okay. And so you already know that I'm going to click on the row, maybe, and hopefully the row will open. Oh, okay. So this gets into, now it's okay that I'm showing you this.
Yep.
What I did was I created a template, and the template has these 3 call outs. And you already know what a call out is because we just did this with Judy and Paul.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I created a row that's a template with these 3. And so when you told me to change the height, I clicked the wrong row. And so it opened up this one, and that's not what you wanted me to do. So what I want to do is I want to go back. Let me go back to the home page. I opened up the wrong thing. I opened up this row, and what I want to open up is the thing that's behind it, right there. You see what's happening?
Yep.
Do you? So
yeah,
you have to.
on
It's a little trick. They're right there. It's kind of like behind the thing. I don't know why they did this, or maybe it's my monitor, but you can see here. Now this, you see, I think you can see what's highlighting.
Yeah.
So you could get frustrated saying, man, all I want to do is just change this, and it's just right there. So now when I click here, I can get that wrench, and here this is right here. You see?
Yeah.
And then again, there's more than one way to do this. I could change it here by the 18.5. I could stretch this out so you can see it more. Or with the style, and I go to font and then change this so that it's a little bit larger like that. So there's 20, it's a 22.
That looks better.
22, okay?
Yeah.
Hit save, hit done, hit publish.
So every time after you have to do the save, done, and publish?
No, you don't have, only when you're on that. Well, first off, when you're done with that page. So
Okay.
each page, but you don't have to publish it. You can just save it as a draft, and you'll notice that next time we do something, because you may make a bunch of changes and Paul said, don't publish it till Friday. And you made all the changes on Monday, but then you
Right.
can publish them on Friday.
Okay. Okay. So the logo let's see, from the basic bigger, we're going, I might be able to do that one under the living spaces. We're going to do, instead of fireplace, we're going to do entertainment centers.
Okay,
So
and I
down,
don't mind, so let me show you, because this gets into it, this works out. I mean, I said I was gonna delay it, but there's no right or wrong. What happened is the header and the footer are basically considered templates. And as I mentioned to you, what I did was I created a template from this row of these three callouts. And the reason why I did that was I thought Paul and Kelly may want this row to appear on different pages. In fact, on each one of their galleries, so that people, instead of creating this row 3 times, I saved it once as a template, and then we can put it wherever we want. Well, that's the same thing with the header and the footer. They're templates.
right.
So the
Okay.
reason why I'm mentioning to you at this time, Kelly, is you said you wanted to change this. And so now is as good as time as any for us to
Gotcha. So you
talk
have to go
about the
to the,
templates. Because we're gonna have to switch gears a little bit, and that's fine. So
okay.
across the top, you can see here, you can get to templates, or if you go to Captain's Cabinetry, pull up your dashboard, and then you can see your templates showing up here under the Beaver Builder.
Okay.
But I use the shortcuts most of the time.
Yeah.
And so the templates, you can see there's a header template, the footer template, and then I created a 3 call outs, kitchen, bathroom, lifestyle galleries. See
Okay.
that?
Yep.
So I'm going to click on that because Kelly wants to see how to edit part of one of the widgets in the gallery. So it looks the same, but I'm not editing a page.
Right.
Minutes ago, we were editing a page. We're not editing a page. We're
I
editing
gotcha.
Thank you. And
Yep.
I can tell you with your emails, I'm trying to remember we spoke on the phone, but I could tell this girl's going to catch on quickly, and you are. So with that said here, so now we're back to the call outs. You wanted a different wording, you
So
said?
instead of fireplace, because we don't actually do the fireplaces. So right down, entertainment centers.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to click on this, and
Okay.
then we go to, again, this is for styling, but you didn't say there was anything wrong with the styling. You said there was something wrong with the words,
The
the general.
wording. Yep.
So did you see what I did here? The image?
Yep.
In a call out, normally the way it was before, you had to click on the header, you had to click on the image, you had to click on the text box. So this is all together. You can go right between them. And as we saw with Paul and Judy, you can duplicate and move the stuff around. In fact, I did that before by moving these around. So
Okay.
you wanted the general, and you wanted me to get rid of fireplace.
Yep. And put
Yeah.
entertainment center.
Okay. Is that all right, Kelly?
Yep.
Okay. So then all I would end up doing is click save. And that's save. So that's
Now,
done.
real quick, the save doesn't mean that it's publishing. It just
Right.
means that you're saving
Correct.
your changes.
Correct. Because okay, well, first off, I think do you want a different photo here?
I'm not too sure yet.
Okay,
I'm trying to,
how
I have to, yeah.
You know how to do it if you want to do it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you said that it saved it. Well, when you hit done, then you can either publish or save it as a draft.
Okay. Okay.
Or because you want to save, you can do publish and continue. Now it's done. I don't need to worry about it. Now I can continue doing what I was doing.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
Was there another one on this page?
Let's see, move.
I guess it was this template. Was there anything else with these rows? Let me show you here. In this, I made this full width, but you and Paul may decide that you prefer that this row have the content fixed width.
Yeah,
And it may look a little neater. There's not a right or wrong. It's just a matter of, what you all prefer. So let me
Yeah,
go back to the home page.
let's keep it smaller, because I was wondering what that would look like, so I can kind of,
Yeah.
but I know it can be bigger, I know it can be smaller.
Yep. So here it is here.
Okay.
So I'll leave it full. I'll leave it fixed width for now, but we can change it to full width, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Or do you want
Now
a full width?
Yep, my question, the next one, it says click to schedule your design consultation. Instead of that, I want, because we are big in countertop replacements. So I wanted that to say Mid-Michigan countertop replacement specialist. And
Okay.
then that being linked to the countertop page.
Okay. So I'm out of the builder function. Nothing's highlighting. So
Okay.
if you want me to go back, we're going to edit the page. We're going to edit this page. So I just click on builder. This shows up, and now I can edit this page. The different rows are showing up.
Okay.
This is a widget. This widget is called a heading. This widget is called a text editor. This one here is probably back. This is a footer, so you can't edit
Right.
it. See?
Right.
Like you wanted this change, so you would click on the heading setting, and then I'll let you do this. You can change your heading to whatever you want it to say. And then this is where you can link it to whatever page you want it to link to.
Now, in order to do a link, do I?
It links it
Just
automatically.
Okay,
So,
but I mean, do I have to type it in personally, or?
well, this is already set for contact us. So right now there's nothing there. If you
Okay.
do select and you type in counter, it pops up right away. And you don't
Okay.
want it to link to a picture, and you
No.
don't want it to link to a
Like,
post. You want it to link to a page, and the page is right here. You see that?
Yeah.
So then you click here, and then it links to that automatically, and then hit save. And then you can go back and change the words to whatever you want it to be. You okay with that?
Yeah, could you do it real, or can I do it really quick, just so I?
Tell me what
should
you want me
see
to
my
change
list.
to.
Where to go? Mid-Michigan's countertop replacement specialist. Yep. Thank you.
Problem? Any other changes on this page?
Under from basic Captain. I have
To
to
me,
look at that one.
With these
Huh?
with this call outs again, I'd probably go back and do left justified, because that doesn't look so good. Well,
Yeah, with the more, yeah.
yeah, doesn't look so
Okay.
right.
All right. Okay. Oh, there was one more. I can try to figure that one out.
Whatever you want to do, Kelly. You want to stay on this page or another page?
No, this one right here. Move kept was founded. Oh, I remember what I wanted to do. Okay. So if we scroll down, keep going. Okay, right there Captain's Cabinetry was founded on the principles of honesty and integrity. I was thinking about putting that underneath the from the basic to the, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like a personal touch.
Okay. So let me hit done, because this is the footer.
Yeah.
And just for simplification's sake, I'm going to go ahead and let's see if it'll let me highlight that. No, I'm going to hit done, because we want to get, you're asking to edit the footer, not the rest of the page. So now we're not in the builder where I can't even edit this. I can highlight this, but you want this moved.
I want that.
You want it moved.
Yeah.
So I need to go to my templates.
Okay.
I need to go to my footer, and you can't move between your footer and
your body and
your body. But what you can do is number one, you could just delete it and rebuild it, or again, this is more advanced, but I'm going to show it to you because you asked the question.
Yeah.
Is I would save it as a global. So here it is here. And then what you can do is you can hit save as, and then it's going to give me a choice to save it as CC on it. This is what I named it just to show you.
Yep.
And then I want to make it global. So now what is, and I'm going to hit save.
Does global mean that it can go anywhere then?
It can go anywhere, right? But and so I'm going to delete this here because you said you don't want it there.
Yeah.
And so I moved that. Now this is set for 4 columns. And the reason why I set it for 4 columns, because this Cambria got quite large, the flag got too large. So, you know,
we're actually going to have another logo right there, just so you know. We're waiting on that one.
And so this is a photo. So, you know, again, we can play with the row, you know, whatever you want. This is the photo. So with that being said, right now, I stretch this column out to make these smaller, but we can change that. We can make this three columns instead of 4, or make them, you know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But what I want to show you then is that I'm going to hit save just because that's gone for now. We'll fix your footer.
That's
whatever
okay.
you and Paul. Okay. Now, these other things you and Paul may not want all this here, because this is all part of the footer on the bottom of every page.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I'm looking at that too. So
I'm sorry?
I said I'm looking at that, but
okay.
You can just concentrate on the other.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit done. Let's just get out of this. And then
what time do you need to go?
In about 2 minutes here. I'm sorry to do that to you. I just realized and hear what's going on, but
not a bit. You're fine.
This is good productive time. So I think this will be helpful to you. So what we want to do is, you said you wanted to move it somewhere else. Do you know what page you wanted to move it on to?
Actually this page, the home page, and then just right under where we changed from the basic to the elegant, right underneath there.
Okay. So I've got to go to because I was in a template, I've got to go to the builder and then go to home page. Okay. So here I am on home page. It's going to take a minute to load. And so here we are on this page. And so tell me again where you would like it.
Right in front or on top of the kitchen remodeling, bathroom renovations, and living spaces.
So what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to drop in a row. So let's go to row and let's just drop it in right here. So you can see the rows there. Now what you want to do is you want to add a widget that's already saved. And let's see. Save modules. Right here. See it?
Yep.
Sorry. And then that's here. And then you can edit it, you know, style it, whatever you want to do. And then hit save. And then hit done.
Okay.
Publish. And it's there. Kelly, are you okay if we wrap for today?
100%.
We got two hours of some good stuff in.
Yes, we did.
And you learned SEO stuff. You learned how to edit stuff. Yeah, you've got stuff that'll help you really sleep well tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to work on the pictures, getting those correct, and also the SEO on those pictures, and then also the SEO on the website pages. And
you can start to clean up your media library, whatever else you want to delete and that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I still do have changes for you to help with and so forth, and I can try to do as much as I can. Okay.
Why don't you look at your schedule? Today's only Tuesday, so we can meet, you know, Thursday, Friday, probably not tomorrow, but.
Well, today's Wednesday.
Wednesday, so.
Basically this week, I won't be able to. I'm leaving Thursday afternoon, so.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. That's great.
Yep, I have Monday off.
Good for you.
Maybe Wednesday of next week.
Just send me an email and we'll coordinate and it won't be a problem. Same time, same bad channel may work.
All right. That sounds good.
Do you have any questions or stuff requests for me at this time?
I do not. Thank you so much, Mark, for this.
Pleasure is mine, Kelly. It's nice to meet you. If you have stuff, you can send on email or text, and I can do stuff in between as well. But we'll shoot for next Wednesday and we'll confirm via email.
Sounds good.
Thanks very much, Kelly. I'm gonna end the
Thank you.
meeting and I'll send you a link to this within the next day or so.
Perfect.
So let me do stop share. And then hopefully this will end and then I'll be able to record and meeting for all.